Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. So one of the modifications that I've wanted to do for a while on my WRX is just to lower it a touch. Even on the side here, you can see that on the wheel wells right there, there's quite a bit of a gap. If we get closer to it, you can see you can easily fit 3, maybe 4 fingers in there, and same thing in the front. And I think I would try to get that to like a 2-finger length, and that would equate to about a 1-inch drop, or maybe a tiny bit more. But I will be doing about a 1-inch drop. They say it's 1 inch in the back and 1.1 in the front. So let's have a good look at what it looks like currently. And I'll go to the usual zoom just so that you can see sort of both perspectives. Alright, so that's the before. And let me show you the parts that I'll be using. So they are H&R Springs, right here. Let's have a look. So made in Germany, really cool. I guess they make all types of other suspension components. And voila. So I like the packaging. Pretty simple, but pretty well secured. Not sure if this is the front or the back. My friend will be installing these for me, but they look pretty awesome, and I like the color. I hope the color shows through, but I was told that will only last for like a week or 2 anyways, until it gets dirty. So yeah, these are them. So again, they say 1 inch lowering in the back and 1.1 for the front wheels. And just one more take before we take it in. I'm right here at the Subaru shop, and one of our techs here is kind enough to help me with this lowering springs. And just wanted to show right here, because this is my friend's car, the Infiniti right here, and he's got his almost slammed, maybe slammed, but just want to show another angle, and we'll see afterwards how it compares and what it looks like. All right, let's get it done. All right, and here's the final product. So she's lowered now. H&R Springs. And now we can compare. You can see I can barely fit 2 fingers in there. Before, it was definitely more like a whole fist, or 4 fingers or something. And you can see in the rear here, for some reason, even a little less space. So it's supposed to be a 1-inch drop in the back, 1.1 in the front. I think it's a tiny bit more, but what's important is that it looks great. And I actually took it out for a short drive just earlier, and it feels great as well. So yeah, I think even just you know, just looking from above here, just the car looks more flush. Everything just actually feels more proper, maybe like how it should be from the factory, and especially for a sports car. In the previous generation, the VA, they still had a good amount of ground clearance, but the gap in the wheel didn't seem to be as much. Now with the VB, they're going for a slightly different style and a little bit of extra ground clearance. So I get why there is the wheel gap, but I hope you guys agree that this looks quite a bit better. Alright guys, and here you can see a comparison of my WRX lowered versus another one here that's stock height, the black one just behind it. So you can see here, exactly the gap in the wheels. And now let me show you this one that's stock. So as you can see, way more space here, easily 3 fingers, and even more on the back wheels here. The key and I could even see the lowering on the back here. And I do have 20mm spacers which help push the wheels out, but you can see the difference right here. And let me go and show another angle in the front. So there you are, you can clearly see the difference right here, and the back is similar. Alright, so in the car now, and I gotta admit, this isn't my very first impression because I didn't have what I needed to have in order to make this video earlier. But I'm in the car now, and as first impressions, of course, it's a little lower to the ground, so it's a little different getting in and out of the car. But that's totally fine. I love the look from outside, and even from the inside, it's kind of cool to see the ground a little lower when you open the door. Now, from my initial impression, my earlier drive without the video, I gotta say, wow, I didn't expect this kind of a change from this relatively maybe minor of a mod and not too expensive of a mod. So let's get into that. Let's turn on the car, let's see how it feels, and I'll reminisce on my first impressions, and I'll let you know exactly how everything feels to me. But overall, I really loved it. So let's turn on the car and let's get going. It's also a really nice evening here in Vancouver, British Columbia. So we have a nice sunset and slightly overcast weather, but still sunny enough, warm enough. Alright, so first things first, and that's also the first thing that I felt driving the car slowly, is that it's actually a little softer, a little more forgiving than the stock setup. The stock setup, and if you have the car, you know for sure what I'm talking about. You get that pogo stick sort of a feeling where on these little lines, these little unevenness in the road, the little ruts and whatnot, or little potholes, little manholes, that kind of stuff, you get that articulation, that vertical articulation in the suspension, and it's quite pronounced. It's actually at slow speeds, and it's actually at high speeds where the WRX really shines and the suspension becomes sporty as it is in slower speeds, but more comfortable and less of that vertical motion. For some reason, the stock suspension has quite a bit of this juttedness, kind of a pogo stick sort of a feeling. So as you're going along, you're just feeling these unnecessary vibrations sometimes. Now, the VB definitely shines. So the VB is this generation. The VB shines versus the VA, versus the previous generation, with its new chassis. A very nice, firm, solid, more so than the last generation chassis. And so the frame twists less and so on. But with the stock suspension, it always felt to me like maybe it just wasn't tuned exactly well enough, because again, at high speeds it seemed perfect, but at slow speeds it was just odd that it was making this feeling where you would expect the opposite, maybe softer when it's slower, and maybe a bit more bumpy at higher speeds. You're hitting things at higher speeds, so that's what I had in mind. But anyhow, this suspension, this H&R suspension, is doing marvels to this, and we are lower, so of course we have a lower center of gravity. I feel that the car is more stable, but again, at slower speeds, it's actually a bit more forgiving. It's gliding better over these surfaces, which is very, very welcome. Now we're gonna take it around the corner now, and of course can't really feel through the camera, but I can tell you my initial impressions already from before were very, very good. This is just a 1-inch drop, or maybe 1 and a bit, but it's surprising how much of a difference it makes. Definitely this is something that has to do with the rigorous engineering of these springs from H&R. These are made in Germany, so I'm not really surprised, but you know, to the standard of them, but I am surprised at how much of an overall difference it makes. So let's take this corner. And just a great feeling going around the corner. The car is more stable than before. There's less of a yaw motion, less body roll. So that's super welcome. I'm not sure if understeer or oversteer. Well, these understeer by default, and it seems like that's like I get less of that, but maybe I'm getting my terms wrong. But it just seems like it's more glued around the corner, and that's definitely because of the lower center of gravity, but maybe also something with how the springs rebound. Just that little bump, if you noticed, just a couple of seconds ago, I hit a little bump, something metallic, and I can just tell that with the stock suspension, that would be more pronounced. You would really hear like a bang, a little bit of a bang, because of that. And this new springs just seem to soften the blow, and really nice. Less of that vertical articulation due to those little inconsistencies in the road. Now, other than the decreased body roll, and because of that, you know, the ability to take a corner with more speed, more G's. Other than that, I also feel that there's less of a front-to-back motion. So this would specifically be applicable to you if you have one of these cars and it's tuned. If your engine is tuned, it's now producing more boost. And with that more boost and faster acceleration, the vehicle tilts. So when you're giving it gas, it kind of tilts up, and then with each gear you can really feel that it's tilting up and down, which is not something that you get without its tune, without the engine tune, because that's how the suspension was tuned from the factory. It's supposed to stay flat, and it does a pretty good job from factory. But if you're tuned, and I was surprised to see to what extent you feel it, but you do feel it quite a bit when you're giving her. So this suspension, or these springs, also diminish and or let's say minimize that effect as well. So in between gears here, the car stays flat, and it's just such a nice feeling. And it honestly feels to me, and maybe this is in my head, but really feels to me like because of that flatness, the car is a bit more efficient in transferring the engine power forward. instead of kind of like battling that up and down motion. So that would be true for any, like I said, inconsistencies in the road, but also the shifting from first, second, third gear. So let's see that here. And the cop just passed around the corner. I think we're safe. All right, so first gear, second gear. There you go. The car stays so much flatter, and it just seems like it connects to the second gear maybe a bit more smoothly. It doesn't feel as broken in terms of the acceleration. You get to do that first, second, third, and your acceleration is just smoother. So I'm very, very happy with that. Of course, with the lowering of the car, another aspect of it, other than the lower center of gravity, is, I believe, I would imagine, better aerodynamics. Since now you're covering more of the car, there's less of an air gap underneath, and everything seems to be sort of hugging the road a bit more. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you know for sure, but it does feel like maybe it's resisting the air a bit better. I don't know if it's something that I'd be able to notice, but I wonder if that overall, and less of a battling of that vertical motion, if all of that transfers to, yeah, like I said, a little bit of a more efficient forward motion. So maybe some improvements there in speed, acceleration, and I wonder about fuel economy as well, if there's a case to be made there. And let's downshift here to third. Very smooth, very fun, and really that's what the car feels like should have come like from the factory. You know, for the amount of money that I spent, I just feel like it's such a good mod. The engine, the ECU modification, so the H&R Sport, that's one mod that really surprised me. How it woke up the engine, the turbo. You can see it's now producing 17.4 max PSI. That I was able to get, and before it was around 12 to 13 from factory. So pretty substantial there. That was one mod, and then now this this lowering kit is again surprising me with how much it helps performance, and in this case, of course, the looks as well. Now I gotta admit, I haven't done suspension mods before. I was shying away from them, actually. I used to have 2020 STI, and I thought that the car was perfect, so I didn't do anything to it. I thought the height was perfect as well, but in this case I didn't. With this WRX, it didn't feel so. It felt like there's more to be desired. The wheel gap was quite a bit. The car was, you know, riding a bit higher than I would have liked. And if it was perfect from factory, I would have taken the stock suspension as however it was, and I wouldn't think twice about it. So I gotta admit, I did it mainly, and or for mostly for the aesthetics. And I definitely did not expect this boost in performance. And of course, and for me as well, having not done something like that before, you know, I've always not thought as highly of non-speed modes, non-acceleration based mods. Maybe brakes, but not suspension. And now I'm really realizing what kind of a difference it can make. Alright, third gear, let's give it some boost. Excellent. Feels great. And that was about 70 to 80% throttle, not full blast. Second gear here now into the corner. Bit of a bad shift coming in, but pretty fun S-curve there. Now around here, yeah, the car just feels great, feels planted. Feels like I could do this way faster if it was even remotely safe, so I won't. But yeah, around these bends, the car just feels really great. Another bend right here. Yeah, feels great. From the second to third, before the car would lurch up and then down, and now it stays nice and flat. Very happy with it. Around something like this, less understeer than I'm used to before. The car does not slide away from me, stays planted and stays around the curve. I could have taken that even faster. So I'll pull over here. But overall, guys, very, very happy with this mod. H&R Sport Lowering Springs. They specify 1.1 drop, 1.1 inch drop in the front, 1 inch in the rear. And we've come to rest here at a beautiful, beautiful spot. What do you guys think of this view? So let's check it out from outside here, just one more time, and I'll let you go here for the night. But yeah, I am so happy with this. Very happy with the current stance of it, and the looks, and the performance too. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.